Panic. Yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada lai 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 yada lai 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 lai. Shabbat Shalom.
how nice it is when we can come together and pray and sing and be in harmony with brothers and sisters. Invite everybody just to take a big deep breath. Let the feeling of Shabbat enter your lungs. Also send a special welcome to all of those who are joining us streaming. A Shabbat Shalom to you as well. I'm trying to find the streaming camera to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. Whether you're here, this is your first Shabbat here, or you're here every Friday night, what a delight to join together in harmony. We'll turn to page 128 for words of Hine Matov. But I also want to point out for those, this room does have a hearing loop that you can connect your hearing aids to if you need to. Stephanie's there that can help you out if it's a trouble. We sing the words, how good and how pleasant it is that brothers and sisters dwell together.
Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad 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 Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
The Shabbat candle blessings are on page 120. For the honor of lighting our Shabbat candles tonight, I'd love to invite forward anyone that was helpful in coordinating or volunteering for tonight's dinner. That'll be after the service. Don't be bashful. I don't want to say names because then I'll forget somebody. But if you played a role in helping tonight, and I see you, please come forward and we'll light the Shabbat candles together. Sue, do you want to take the lighter? Push this and this at the same time, if you can. We should get matches.
Oh, yes, underneath, on the left. There you go.
Matches too. These might be easier. I'll use this. That's what I would do. I pick up sticks.
There's also another box on the table over there.
Come on back here, everybody. Just like.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadik
Lechne
Shel Shabbat.
Thank you all so much. One thing I've learned in my 2 months here at Beth El is what an amazing and tenacious volunteer corps we have. But I think the men have to get better involved after seeing who came up to light our Shabbat candles. I'll invite you to turn to page 142. We welcome Shabbat's angels with the words of Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, V'melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, V'melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, V'melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeinchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, V'melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Turn back to 138 for words of Lecha Dodi. We welcome the Sabbath bride. Beloved, come to meet the bride. Beloved, come to greet Shabbat.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat, Nekabla, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat, Nekabla.
Turn to page 140, the next page. You'll see there's an indented paragraph about halfway down the page in both the Hebrew and the translation. The words of Psalm 92, Tzaddik katamar yifrach, the righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon.
Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Tzaddik katamar yifrach, Ge'erez balvanon yiskeh, Shetulim bebeit Adonai, bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrihu od Seva Dishenim Verananim Iyu Lehagid Ki Yashar Adonai Suri Velo
If you're able, I invite you to rise. The words of the Baruch Hu are on page 146.
Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed.
Inside, on the back of your program, on the back of the last page, the words of V'ahavta, an English translation sung or written by Debbie Friedman.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Shem Kevod Malto Leolam Leolam Va'ed. And you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gate.
And upon your gate.
That you may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
I haven't heard that melody in such a long time. For some people, it probably might be the first time you ever heard that melody, and for some, like beautiful nostalgia for bringing back to worship of times. Thanks, Cantor, for bringing that to our community again. 158, the words of our freedom and redemption, Micha Mocha.
Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Mika mocha ne'edar ba'kodesh, Nora te'ilot, O sefele, Nora te'ilot, O sefele, Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, זה לי, ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, לעולם, לעולם, לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו ביד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני
Baruch Hu Baruch Shema.
על ישראל.
162. More than the Jewish people have kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jewish people.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם,
אותי לעולם,
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ששת ימים עשה אדוני,
עשה אדוני,
את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש,
שבת ויהי נפש,
שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
If you're able, we once again rise with the meditation for the Amidah, the Tefillah, on 164. We'll turn right into the prayers on the following pages.
Adonai, sifatai tiptal, ufvi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Konei Ha'akol, ve'Zocher Chastei Avot ve'Imahot, u'mevi geula livnei v'neihem, leman shemo be'ava. Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav ve'Hoshia Mori hatal, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Micha mocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech meimit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah le'achayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Take a few moments of personal worship.
Bottom of page 180, prayer for peace. bottom of page 180.
Ose shalom bimromah, Uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ose shalom bimromah, Uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imeru, Amen.
371 is our prayer for healing. Misha Berach Lecholim. If you're thinking of someone in need of healing on this Shabbat, I invite you to share their name out loud with our community so we can add them to our prayer.
Those who suffer from mental illness and substance abuse.
Marie Fisher, Judith Klein,
Clary Swartzel, Lincoln Ralph,
Laura Steckel,
all people suffering from war and famine.
Laura Ashley.
Let's sing together.
Misheberach avoteinu, mekor habracha laimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu, mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We do have an ongoing healing list at TBE. If there's somebody that you want to make sure is on that to be read each Friday night, please email or call the office at the start of next week, and we'll be sure to add that person to our list for each Shabbat. A few weeks ago, we were at Shabbat services in the park on Madison's east side, and Betsy, who's here, reminded me of an article I had written about 10 years ago for a webpage called Jewish Sacred Aging. Jewish Sacred Aging is a project by a rabbi in Los Angeles named Richie Address, and which has been responsible for creating awareness and resources for congregations on the implication of the emerging longevity revolution, with a growing emphasis on the aging of the baby boom generation. This aging revolution has begun to impact all aspects of Jewish communal and congregational life. And I revisited the article I wrote earlier this week, thank you, I would have never remembered it, in advance of Senior Shabbat. In it, I referenced an old New Yorker article by Roger Angell. My hunch is many of you know Roger Angell. Truly, there was no one better, who wrote for the New Yorker for nearly 70 years. Angell wrote the annual Greetings, Friends, end of the year recap in the New Yorker, and became known as the greatest of all baseball writers, even being called by some the poet laureate of baseball. At the age of 93, he wrote the essay, This Old Man, about what it's like to live in what he called extreme old age. It won the Society of Magazine Editors' Best Essay Award for essays and criticism. It opens on a wry note with Angell crackling jokes about arthritis and macular degeneration, and then fancifully describing his intermittent bouts of memory loss. Take a listen. Check me out. The top two knuckles on my left hand look as if I'd been worked over by the KGB. No, it's more as if I'd been a catcher for the Hall of Fame pitcher Candy Cummings, the inventor of the curveball, who retired from the game in 1877. To put this another way, if I pointed that hand at you like a pistol and fired at your nose, the bullet would nail you in the left knee. Arthritis. Now still facing you, if I cover my left, or better, eye with one hand, what I see is a blurry encircling version of the ceiling and floor, and walls or windows to our right and left, but no sign of your face or head. Nothing in the middle. But cheer up. If I reverse things and cover my right eye, there you are, back again. If I take my hand away and look at you with both eyes, the empty hole disappears and you're in 3D. And actually looking pretty terrific today. Macular degeneration. I'm 93 and I'm feeling great. Well, pretty great, unless I've forgotten to take a couple of Tylenols in the past 4 or 5 hours, in which case I've begun to feel some jagged little pains shooting down my left forearms and into the base of my thumb. Shingles in 1996 with resultant nerve damage. Angell goes on to weave a must-read essay on aging. He tells about what life is like for him in his 90s. It's funny and it's poignant, it's sad and brave. He talks about loss and dying. He discusses the joys of his life and his physical condition. He tells jokes and talks about sex. The writing is sublime, and the piece, though tackling serious subjects, is not depressing. Check out this section. Decline and disaster impend, but my thoughts don't linger there. It shouldn't surprise me if at this time next week I'm surrounded by family gathered on short notice. They're sad and shocked, but also a little pissed off to be here, to help to decide after what's to be done with me now. It must be this hovering knowledge, that 2-ton safe swaying on a frayed rope just over my head, that makes everyone so glad to see me again. How great you're looking. Wow, tell me your secret, they kindly cry when they happen upon me crossing the street or exiting a dinghy or departing an X-ray room, while the little balloon over their heads reads, "Holy shit, he's still vertical." Judaism has a lot to say about getting old as well. Not just the old age stories of Abraham and Sarah and Moses, but real insights on how to age and treat our elders. The Midrash teaches that one who greets an elder is as if he's greeted the face of the Shekhinah, God's divine presence. The Holiness Code from the book of Leviticus says the core teachings of the Torah that instructs us how to behave tells us, you shall rise before the gray-headed and show deference to the elderly. Dr. William Thomas of the Eden Alternative, an international nonprofit dedicated to creating quality of life for elders and their care partners, teaches that the reasons Adam and Eve had so many problems in the Garden of Eden was because they had no elders to guide them. Dr. Thomas maintained that Adam, who lived until the age of 930, could not die until there was a society filled with elders around to mentor future generations. At TBE, even though I've only been here a few months, I noticed we put a lot of effort into the younger members of our synagogue, bar and bat mitzvah students and families, our 20s and 30-year-olds from MJND, and high school students. And this is wonderful. We believe in a Lador Vador community where we are part of a sacred chain of tradition. But I'm also keenly aware of the generational shift within America's Jewish community in Bethel as well. According to the Jewish Federations of North America, JFNA, nearly 20% of the American Jewish population is 65 or older, compared to 13% of the general population. At Bethel, almost 21% of our members are over the age of 70. There are many questions this community has asked and needs to continue to ask and answer surrounding aging, led by the amazing lay leadership and the work carved by Cantor Nami and Rabbi Beitch. We're actually a model for some of the other communities across the nation. But the questions endure. Is access to our building easy enough? Are our wonderful greeters trained in welcoming an older population? Do we have enough training in that hearing loop that we talked about? Do we have enough large print prayer books? Have we built the appropriate relationships with assisted living centers? Are we using our political clout to ensure that there is affordable senior housing in the area? All significant, no doubt. But I think that more important than these questions is, do we as a synagogue understand the spiritual needs of our aging population? Do we have pathways for meaning in the lives of our older community? Rabbi Address, that leader of the Sacred Aging Initiative, writes of our movement's aging populations. The emerging generations of older adults want and need their synagogues to be places where their dreams are welcome and their lives are validated. They deserve our synagogues to be open, welcoming, and affirming of their lives, no matter what age they may be or what stage of life they find themselves. To be any less, to forget our legacies, will reduce the contemporary synagogue to irrelevancy, a mere service institution that processes people through various life cycle events without a sense of transcendent meaning or historical linkage. In my short time here, I'd actually argue that we do a pretty good job. This Shabbat is a terrific example. At the Bethel men's retreat a few weeks ago, there were nearly 35 men, many seniors who came together for fraternity and learning and even Tai Chi. We have nice relationships with Capitol Lakes, and certainly our caring community is wonderful. Yet I know we have more to do. I always have my grandmother, and she passed away about 7.5 years ago, in mind, as she often said that even at her richly dynamic Manhattan synagogue, when she showed up on Friday evenings, she sometimes felt anonymous. Toward the end of his essay, Roger Angel writes, "Getting old is the second biggest surprise of my life. But the first by a mile is our unceasing need for deep attachment and intimate love. We oldies yearn daily and hourly for conversation in a renewed domesticity, for company at the movie or while visiting a museum, for someone close by in the car when coming home at night. I know that for some, the most intimate touch of the week is the embrace at the end of services here at Bethel. I know that for many, Bethel is the place where they feel more dignity and warmth than any other place in their life. I love the teaching of the Talmud, where Rabbi Judah instructs the community to show respect to an old person who has lost his learning through no fault of his own. For we are taught that the fragments of the first set of tablets of the Ten Commandments were kept alongside the new tablets in the Ark of the Covenant, the old tablets intermingling with the new ones, teaching that holiness comes not from one or the other, but from a merger of both." Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehekianu v'kiyimanu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who has kept us in life, who has sustained us, and enabled us to reach this moment. If you're able, Aleinu L'Shabeach is on page 586. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, page 590, ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
As we're standing, a prayer for the state of Israel, Eternal God, written by Rabbi John Rossoff. Eternal God, receive our prayers for the peace and security of the state of Israel and her people. Spread blessing upon the land and upon all who labor in its interest. Protect Israelis as they defend themselves against missiles and hate. Protect the innocent among the Palestinian people that they may be safe and free from death and injury. Inspire Israel's leaders to defend our people and follow the ways of righteousness and compassion. Remove from the hearts of our people fear, hatred, malice, strife, and vengeance. May the Jewish people scattered throughout the earth stand strong in solidarity with the state of Israel in times of war and in times of peace. And may they be infused with the ancient hope of Zion. May our people be encouraged by the symbol of Jerusalem as the eternal city of peace. May the state of Israel be a blessing to all of her inhabitants and to the Jewish people everywhere. May she be a light to the nations of the world. And we say together, Amen.
Amen.
And be seated. Our prayer of memory, Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish, is on page 598. If I read the name of your loved one this Shabbat, I invite you to rise in their honor. And we'll rise as one community to say words of Kaddish together. In this period of Shloshim, the 30 days since passing, the Bethel community remembers Anita Guilford and Joan Riggs. In this period of Yartzeit, the anniversary since passing, we remember with love Bill Abrams, Jack Auerbach, Lonnie Beaver, Malka Blum, Murray Brodsky, Linda Bublik, Helen K. Karimi, Carolyn DeTulio, Ben Elman, Leo Friend, Irving Guinness, Zella Goldrosen, Isaac Goldrosen, Estelle Krasno, Eleanor Kushner, Michael Cutler, Tom Lang, Edwin Isidore Megeff, Jacob Milofsky, Florence Parks, Iris J. Rosenberg, Rabbi Frank Rosenthal, Tibi Schultz, Sarah R. Seneko, Doris Weinswag, Laura Lee Wexler, Jay Wexler, Mary Wiganitz, and Anna Wurtzel. If you're thinking of somebody else on this Shabbat whose name I did not read, I invite you to rise and share their name with our community at this time. We rise together to say Kaddish on 598. Yidkadal v'yidkadash Shemei Rabbah, Bi'alma divra kirte bi'amlich malchute. B'chayechon uvyom echon. Uvchaye techol Beit Yisrael. Agala uvizman kari b'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei rabba mivarach le'olam unme almaya. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei kusha parichu. Le'ela mikol birchata b'shirata. Tushbechata b'nechemata. Damiram b'yama b'imru. Amen. Yehi shlam rabba min shemaya. B'chayim aleinu b'al kol Yisrael. B'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav. Hu yasei shalom. Aleinu b'al kol Yisrael. B'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel and to all people everywhere, to which we say, Amen. Before we join together in a meal, I invite you to take a seat if you want. Just a very brief announcements. Next Shabbat, I've learned in my 2 months here that there are certain things that are very important in Madison. And one of them is if there's a Wisconsin football game, which there is next Friday at 8 p.m., we need to make our services earlier. I'm not saying if that's a good thing or not. I say this without judgment. But next Shabbat we'll be here at 6 p.m. It'll be time of our Shabbat. And I think you can wear red and white. Moving from the Bay Area, we're part of the Stanford community, so it's good that I don't have to change my colors. But everything else, so Shabbat is at 6 o'clock, and then we'll sing a Don Olam on page 625. We'll do Kiddush and Motzi here, and then head on into the social hall. 625 is a Don Olam.
Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'enasa v'chetzo kol hazai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kiklot hakol levado imloch nora ve'hu היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה לתפארה. הוא אחד ואין שני להמיל לו להבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה. חי גואלי בצור חבלי בעת צרה והוא ניסים הנוצרי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו אפקיד רוחי בעת אישן ועירה ואם רוחי הביאתי אדוני לי ולא יירא.
Into your hands I put my spirit when I sleep and when I wake, and with my spirit my body too. Adonai is with me, and I shall not fear. Words of Kiddush on page 123. Our cup overflows, or we hope our cup overflows. Anybody celebrating something joyous on this Shabbat or this week, little or small? Yeah.
We're going to be grandparents of twins.
Hey.
Salto.
Pretty good. So, Jacob and Esau maybe? Or no, that's not a good name. So, yeah.
Our 47th anniversary.
Mazel tov.
I got a shot in my knee and it doesn't hurt as much anymore.
There you go. All right, well, let's hope the week ahead our cups continue to overflow with moments of joy. We'll join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim kivanu acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol amim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim. And I believe there will also be fruit of the vine and challah for people in the social hall when we move into there for dinner.
2 months into my time in Madison, I know Bloom Bakery is pretty special, so join with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.